All right, so I'm hearing talk about people saying that Kevin Pattulo should be fired. First of all, no, I don't think the Eagles offensive coordinator should be fired. First of all, it doesn't make any sense on an 8-3 team at all. Now the off season is a different story, but right now, I seen some positives, from that game. I still think a situational play calling may end up costing us in a big game. Even that 3rd and 2 call, I get it. The running game's not going, but it has to be something other than, a straight drop back pass slant to AJ. I know it's a high percentage play most of the time, but teams are on to that, at this point. So I think it's a reactionary move to do that, right now. Even play calling, people act like it's Madden, bro. Like you can just like play calling is an art. It's going to take time. He's going through his lumps right now. The offense is too talented, though. This team is too talented for him to fumble the opportunity. So that's like the situation here. Like, are we going to let this man, blow a possible second Super Bowl run because he can't call the right plays in the right time? Or are we going to make the change somebody who's experienced? That's something I would consider if I was Nick Sirianni. Someone who's way more. Because you look at this guy was the passing game coordinator, Pattulo, and the passing game was never really popping like that, which is fine. I'm not fine, but I mean, it is what it is. You make him the offensive coordinator. Passing game is still, I'm not where they envision it to be. So that's a tough conversation they got to have, I think, this week. And definitely next week. It's like, all right, can somebody else to start, somebody with experience, get this thing, in drive? Because right now it's in neutral. They got to get this thing in drive and start hitting them gears as we get closer to playoffs. So I would definitely be considering it, especially if this week, if we, will come out and play 2 quarters and then get stagnant, because that stagnation is play calling, right? The penalties are, offensive line also play a huge part because I think when Pattulo started to get in his groove, and play calling is a groove, right? Um, Penalties and stuff derail it and you kind of get back in a funk. So as much as I want to see this man kind of get through, he's not with like a New Orleans Saints team or a Giants team where you could take your lumps. This is a Super Bowl caliber team. So you gotta be ready. You gotta be able to adjust when people adjust. So no, I think it's reactionary to fire Kevin Pattulo right now. It would not be a good move. Now maybe play calling responsibilities, that's on the table. Now this whole thing about the Eagles, Collinsworth was saying the Eagles may be saving some stuff for the playoffs. I can buy into that a little bit, maybe, simply because you heard AJ kind of talking about it and kind of clicked with me when he said, you can't just turn it on. So AJ wants them to open up the playbook. Nick Sirianni and Patula may be saving some things. I think you got to not necessarily save them, but every now and then give them a little something. Give them a little something, and this week is the week. I think this week is the week you treat it like your first round of the playoffs and go all in. You gotta win this game. This is a must win. Now, that's one thing I'll say. When the Eagles over the last couple of years, when they had to win, they have won. When they necessarily, like even last year, we played Washington, and if we would have beat them, we would have clinched and we would have had the hat ceremony. It didn't happen that week. I think it happened the week after. So it's going to happen. It's a formality. We're going to win the NFC East, but that's not our goal. Our goal is to win another Super Bowl. So step by step, though, this is the first step, getting this offensive play calling, reducing these penalties, finding a way to get the running game going. Offensive line got to play better. And the defense needs to kind of return back, to its Super Bowl form. That was a tough offense, you know. But yeah. But again, if you play that offense in Philly in January or February, it's a totally different outcome. That's my thoughts.